For now, let's revel in the charms of our second headlines round. Paul, you're contractually obliged to begin with Police Chief's fury over Lego car thief.
This is Lego have introduced a new sort of range of building bricks, sort of urban wasteland kind of thing, and one of the characters featured in it is a sort of car thief, and the police are fury about it, particularly the chiefs.
Group 4 actually brought out a toy in the shape of a car thief, but when you open the package it's missing.
Yes.
It's a sort of Lego crack dealer as well, and you can build a little sort of...
Yes, it's the 1993 Lego catalogue, which has outraged police chiefs by depicting a plastic Lego joyrider skidding on two wheels and sending dustbins flying. Police are looking for someone with stubble and dark glasses, but experts warn that he could have already changed himself into a windmill. In fact, it's become such a contentious issue that Lego have forbidden us to show the Joyrider toy on screen, and this is the piece that we're not allowed to show, so I'm very sorry about that, but there's nothing we can do about it. Also in the range are a Lego shoplifter and a squad of Lego West Midlands police who've already arrested Action Man for the crime. Peter.
The sweet smell of success is, well, as everybody all know, capital C20H24O.
Yes.
I think it's something to do with the fact that the rich pong a bit, or the very worthwhile, hard-working people who either sweat at their own brows and everything else have acquired vast sums of money and become powerful, sweat something which attracts ants.
I'll have to tell you then, in that case, it's the invention of artificial aromas to entice people into shops.
Or ants.
Or ants. The smells include coconut oil in travel agents, cut grass in greengrocers, and leather in car showrooms. Let's hope Sock Shop never join the scheme. And quite what Anne Summers has in her shops doesn't bear thinking about. The purpose is to encourage customer loyalty by using a corporate perfume to express a company's personality. So you'll presumably get the smell of hopeless farts in Dixon's.
What aftershave are you wearing this evening, Angus?
I don't wear aftershave, I never wear aftershave.
You've got a very hairy ear.
The C20H24...
This one's quite hairy as well, actually.
It's even hairier, this one.
He's a very well-balanced man, then.
Well, I'd
Pull that bit, does it disappear on the other side?
Yes.
Sort of mental floss.
Last year it was brown suits, now it's hairy ears.
What's the word for that, then? It would be, because nose hair is nasal hair. That would be what? Sort of ear hair.
Oral.
But oral hair is something you only...
Get in your mouth.
Yeah.
So what hair do you get in your mouth?
It gets caught in your teeth, doesn't it?
Yes.
Too near the Mandy Smith question. Let's get on.
Oral AU, I think. Jonathan.
Yes, Angus.
Where am I?
You're in the middle of four very lovely men.
Oh, right, yes. Jonathan.
Angus.
A touch of the Trekkies for
Okay.
you, pardon the expression. Klingon lingo.
Klingon lingo all the way. Well, Klingons, the only Klingons I've ever encountered are the ones, the ugly ones in Star Trek. And the lingo would be what they speak. I think they're probably some of those incredibly dull fans have come up with the language, the Klingon language entirely, so they can probably hold incredibly dull conversations that no one else is interested in anyway about Star Trek in Klingon.
In Klingon.
And say things like, beam me up Scotty, which of course is illegal between consenting adults under the age of 21. Not getting in any kind of trouble.
Only on the Isle of Man.
Oh, is that the...
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it that there's American universities have started to teach Klingon as a language, so that students can say things to each other like, which means, I like your anorak.
Very good, Paul. 2 points. It's the story that Klingon, the language of the aliens in Star Trek, is now being taught in American universities. Phrases for beginners start with Tuk Tuk Makhom, meaning we will meet in the cocktail lounge, and Julwak, meaning I have a headache. The kind of phrases that would be genuinely useful for a Klingon are, where did you get those ridiculous ears? Who's that fat bloke in the wig? And why do all your trousers stop just above the ankles? In response...
It's a bit rich you having to go at somebody else's ridiculous ears. I might say.
Old Bushy over here.
Yeah.
I think Tufty is the name we're looking for.
A Walkman would be wasted on you. It'd be like trying to listen to a radiogram in the middle of a forest.
If you want me to speak up at any time, I'm more than happy.
I feel a running joke coming on. And finally in this round, Ian, what brought about a £1,200 crunch?
Yeah, this was a man who was fined £1,200 for dropping a crisp packet in a car park. And there was one of those Lego policemen on hand. So he got fined £1,200 for dropping a crisp packet, whereas someone 3 courts down got fined 500 quid for rape. One of those true and very funny stories.
Yes, it is Vaughan Watkins, who was fined £1,200 for dropping an empty crisp packet out of his car. He claims he can't pay the fine, which means that he could find himself being sent to prison for a month, or half an hour if Group 4 had anything to do with it. In another ridiculous judgment, the owner of Mick the Mongrel was fined £1,000 after Mick was found having sex with his dog collar off. I'm sure the Bishop of Gloucester knows the feeling.
Bishop of Galway, surely.
Well, you should know, Paul.
Has the Bishop of Gloucester been at it as well?
Yeah. So.
They're all at it.
Right.
Allegedly.
How'd you get to be a bishop? Sounds quite a good job.
Which curious anomalies herald the end of this brief shambles, at which point the near exciting situation is that both teams have a classic 7.
Oh,
And so, with a confident stride and full trouser, we march into our decidedly odd one out round. 4 great British institutions, which one is the Grand National? Paul, the usual pairings for you: Her Majesty the Queen and yourself, and Jonathan Ross and Nigel Kennedy.
Seem to be wearing lipstick there.
You'd been out with the bishop, hadn't you?
I don't mind pandering to his needs.
Nigel,
Is this a hello question? Is it all these people have appeared in hello?
apart from Paul.
No.
That's right, you're always in hello, aren't you?
I try to be whenever possible because my mortgage demands it, but...
I
It's
feel like
Nigel.
That's a rather tough rule from the Building Society.
It's either that or I take the baby back.
My lot just say monthly payment.
Is this a snobbery accent question?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it's rubbish.
Estuary.
This is
Very
estuary
good
English.
potato. It is.
Yes.
It's all these people speak. How can I put this?
Very slowly so we understand you. But you know what's so terribly unfair about this is this is because she's the only one who speaks the Queen's English. But of course she's the only one who can speak the Queen's English. She's the only one who's the Queen.
Yes.
Well,
I just always
being
thought-
a German, she's studied it, hasn't she?
But I mean, that's an unfair question, because Nigel Kennedy's is fake estuary English.
Yeah, he really talks like that, doesn't he?
Whereas the both of us are terribly proud that it's the real thing, aren't we?
Right, that's right.
And he says, "Monster, I must take a lot of hard drugs, man."
You know what? You should take up impressions.
I think you're right.
Because if I hadn't been looking at you, I'd have thought he was here with me then.
The answer is that, according to linguists, all of them, or all of you, except the Queen, are responsible for the spread of what's known as estuary English, so called because it's as clear as mud and flows through a wide mouth. According to experts.
Oh,
of
shut up
course.
and comb your ears.
They claim it's becoming...
Read it, Angus.
Go on, Tufty, don't give up, come on.
An estuary English speaker would call Paul Merton this, Jonathan Ross this, and Nigel Kennedy this.
So listen, if Nigel Kennedy had agreed to do this show this week, then would I have been the...
Yeah.